Chapter 14, Nikki Marshall. My eyes open for the 10th time this night. It's getting annoying. I try to go back to sleep. Lying still on the hard floor is uncomfortable and probably the reason why I keep waking up. I sit in the makeshift bed, fumbling in the dark. I hit my cell phone. Grabbing a hold, I figure out the top from the bottom and hit the button to turn the screen on. It's 9:06 a.m. Somehow, with going to bed early and waking up a million times, I've managed to sleep for 12 hours. My battery is low. I only have about 12% left. It still has no service, so I turn it off. There's no reason to keep it turned on. I should have turned it off last night, but I hadn't thought about it. Down aisle 6, I find breakfast in a box of some cereal I've never heard of, but I know enough that it's a knockoff brand. Following the path of candles and flashlights to the staff room, now looking more like a base of operation, I sit down in a chair while Gary finishes giving instructions to Judy. Good morning, Nikki. I trust you had a good sleep. Gary sounds very chipper. It was okay, I say between mouthfuls of cereal. Looking down at the table, I see a bunch of pieces of paper surrounding a crudely drawn map of the mall. Gary sits down across from me. We've got packs made for scouting missions, first aid kits mostly, just in case. We shouldn't need much else out there. We'll go out in 3 groups, one group for left and right, the other group will go upstairs. We'll cover all the bases. He points to each section as he says so. Gary quickly scouted outside yesterday. He said the world went to shit. We'll need to hunker down here for a while we wait for help. We decided to make sure that the mall is secure and see if anyone else is around. We should lock all the entrances and exits. Search all the open stores, I suggest. There's no use in doing all of this if the demons come and go after we leave. Yes, Gary thinks for a moment. He writes down Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3 in a line. Any suggestions on how we break them down? We don't need to complicate things. I'll go with Steph, Brad, Sean, and Peter. Mary, Tim, and Kiana stay safe here. You break up the people you had upstairs in half. Gary writes my name down for Group 1, Pirate Ship. He puts Judy for Group 2 and his name under Group 3. That should be it. All right, there's no use in delaying this. He grabs the paper and gets up from his seat and comes around the table. I set the cereal box down on the table and follow him. The moment we set foot into the warehouse, he shouts, "Everyone to the front gate!" He does this twice more on our way there. Everyone has already beaten us to the front. I can see that everything that we will need has been moved to the counter. The first aid packs and all the weapons, they must have been busy. Gary gets right into splitting everyone up from his group. He semi-privately tells Judy what to do, then gathers his half and leaves. Taking cue, I walk over to my group, conveniently standing together. Brad looks irritated but isn't arguing. I wonder if Gary and he had a conversation to make him agreeable, or if a good night's rest helped. Kiana, Mary, and Tim are staying here. Let people come in when they come back. Keep the gate locked otherwise. Everyone else, you're coming with me towards the pirate ship. I don't wait to see if they are following before I grab a pack and a flashlight and my samurai sword from the counter, attach it through my belt, and leave. The extra weight on either side of my hips feels weird. The gate clicks shut behind us as we go down the hall. No one says a word. I can only hear the noises we are making with our footsteps and those of our other groups. The whole mall seems to be quiet. Perhaps the demons attacking thought no one would be at the mall that early. There weren't many of them. It would mean that the demons are familiar with our schedules and habits. They may be more intelligent than I had originally thought, possibly not bent on pure destruction and bloodlust alone. But this also might explain why we aren't hearing anything. They could be intelligent enough to stalk us. I stop my thought process there when a shiver goes up my spine. I make sure to look in every direction, scanning with my flashlight in up and down motion. So far, there haven't been any open stores. We come up to a 4-way crossing. Peter, come with me. We'll go lock those doors. I point to the right. Brad and Sean lock down Berman Street, and Steph makes sure nothing tries to sneak past here. Immediately after splitting everyone up, I go down towards the exit I had assigned myself, not wanting to give anyone a chance to argue. Now in a smaller group, I feel a bit less secure. Compensating for it, I pull the sword out of my scabbard and ready myself for an attack. Peter does the same. I'm not sure if it's because of the same reason or if I freaked him out by drawing my own. Getting past the store in the middle of the walkway, there's only a short walk to the doors. What I see through the glass makes me stop in my tracks. My jaw drops on its own will. What we experienced on our way to the mall was only the beginning. The devastation must have continued long after we escaped the outside. Black smoke rises from smoldering buildings. Cars had been tossed around like toys. Some lay on their sides and others are upside down. I try to count the number of cars out there and compare them to the people we have found. There should be at least double the number from the parking lot alone. Even more considering the number of parking lots this place has. Going through the first set of doors and to the second makes the whole thing more real. I can't help myself as I push open the outer doors. I put the sword back in the scabbard and the flashlight in my pocket. Reaching into my back pocket, I grab a cigarette and lighter, automatically taking one out, lighting it, then puts everything else away. The action calms me in just the right way. The taste and smell clear out the dirty gasoline smoke from the cars and whatever else might be mixed into the air. A bit more focused now, I try to look a bit further. Everything is eerie and calm and quiet. The calm after the storm, hopefully not the calm before the storm. This may be a bit more serious than we had originally thought. I would think by now we would have heard something from the army or at least the police. My cigarette is done too soon, but from the look on Peter's face, I should go back inside. I drop the butt and step on it. Going inside, I don't say a word to Peter. I need a moment to process everything before I do any explaining. We figure out the locks on the door and proceed to lock every door on both sets of the inner and outer doors. We go back towards Steph, on the other side of the middle store. She looks relieved to see us. The boys are making a bit of noise as they make their way back to us. It sounds like they're horsing around, so we don't see a reason to worry about it when I hear a short yell and someone's flashlight going flying. Brad makes it back to us first, shortly followed by Sean, rubbing his shoulder. Both have stupid grins on their faces. I roll my eyes, but I can't help but smile. Sean pushes Brad towards the direction we need to go. I pull the flashlight out of my pocket and catch up to Brad. When the area opens up, I realize just how big of a job this is. We don't have enough people to cover everything if we don't all go separate ways alone. Brad interrupts my thoughts. You girls stay here. We'll go look around. Peter, go that way. There's an exit down there. I'll go down that way and get the exit to the left. Sean, you get all the food court and the brick exit. We'll come back and towards the water park together. Brad tries to do the same thing I just did minutes ago. Order people around, then leave, so there aren't any arguments. Brad, there are 2 exits over there. I point towards the back left where he had Peter going. The one by the music store and the one for the hotel. He stops and turns around. A partial glare is still in his eyes until he realizes his own mistake, and then I'm not completely disputing what he decided. Stephanie go with Peter and split up for the exits. He decides, then leaves. Steph looks at me apologetically. I wave her on and smile to tell her it's okay. I pull out my sword and ready myself. There's so much area to cover just from my position here. Footsteps above me stop my heart for a moment before I hear Gary's voice right after the stomping around. Walking forward a bit, I get into position to see the people above me. I shine my light up there. It only takes a moment for Gary and a few others to lean over the railing. A couple of flashlights behind me. I put my hand up to cover the light. Nikki, that you? Gary asks. I answer a short, yeah. Where's everyone else? He moves the flashlight off of me. I can finally see again. Not without dots in my vision. We had to split up to cover the whole area. I'll send a couple people down to help you out. His head disappears for a couple of moments, only to return. Have you had any trouble? No, nothing so far. You? I return the question. No, we've had a few people, though, he says. Maybe the ones who were attacking moved on after they attacked. I turn my attention to the footsteps approaching. There must be about a dozen extra people. Looking back up at Gary, I say, I thought you said a couple. Okay, maybe a few more than a couple. He backs away from the railing. Looking back at the group, I feel they are waiting for instructions. Hi, I'm Nikki. It is probably best to split them up by sections, then send them off in different directions, just like the ones Brad had set out. I get closer to them and put my hand with the flashlight out to split up a section. You go down that way. I point down where Peter and Steph had gone. Splitting up the remaining people in half, I point each way Brad and Sean had gone. You go down there and to the right, and you through the food court and to the right. At the last moment of thought, I tap a couple of people on their shoulders as they go to walk past me. You two will stay here with me. The tent's edge is slowly disappearing as I hear people talking and laughing through the echoing room. It doesn't take long before people start returning in their large groups. Gary yells, all clear, from the stairs. What people had remained upstairs now follow him down. Us too, we've just got to clear the water park, Steph pipes up. We should probably go through the maintenance halls. You can't get in from outside without a key, but something still could have gotten in there from inside the mall. Gary looks to me. You want to take the water park and we'll take the halls? Sure, I say. I stay put while Gary gathers a group together. He leaves me with a couple dozen people in my original group. All right, let's go. Feels like we're playing a more dangerous game of follow the leader. No one wants to do anything until I lead the way, all except for Brad, who sticks right beside me. We go down the escalators. It feels a lot colder down here, probably because this is more of a basement-type area. Once I shine my flashlight to the entrance, I see a bit of an issue with wanting to go through the water park, but probably a blessing in disguise. Locked gates are keeping us out. Hey, this door is unlocked, the guy says before he gets into the gift shop. So much for that idea. We corral through the door and out through the other door leading into the area behind the gates. Automatically, we split off into the change rooms. I chuckle to myself as the guys go through the men's room and the girls go to the women's change room. Of course, people would still stick by those rules when there isn't anyone to catch them and give them trouble for it. No one goes to the family change room, so I go to that one. Brad races me in there once he figures out where I'm going. With my sword still in my hand, I put it in guard in front of me. A couple of people follow in after us. I flick my flashlight onto the stalls and between the rows of lockers. It doesn't take long to make our way through and out the traditional waiting area. People out here already are going out to the different sections of the park. I go to the right and head towards the large pool. It's light enough from the slant light that I turn off my flashlight and put it into my pocket. I look up. It's going to take forever to search this whole place. There are too many hiding places. It'll be exhaustive to have to climb all these stairs and trek the slides down. Some movement to my left catches my eye. There's something over there for sure. I see some movement which confirms it. Heading over there to investigate, I tap Brad's shoulder and get a few people's attention. Without talking, I call attention to the tiki hut where I saw the movement. As we get closer, I can see two people. There's a girl behind the bar and a guy sitting on a bar stool. The girl notices us first and lets the guy know. I put my sword away. They're not dangerous. He spins around. Hey, sup, peoples. Welcome to the Tiki Hut Casa de Mat. Sit down, relax, and enjoy yourself. Babe, get our guests a round of drinks. The girl sets about grabbing glasses and filling them with alcohol. I'm sure they're both drunk already. Well, this place is clear if you haven't been eaten by now, Brad says before plopping himself down at the bar and grabbing one of their glasses. He starts handing the others out as they're filled. I take one from him. Matt's eyes are glazed over as his dull stare tells me that how drunk he is. Matt raises his cup once we all have our own. A toast to the end of the world. Let's get shit-faced and enjoy ourselves until we die. I take a drink at the disturbing toast. Woo! Now, here are the rules. There's a 10-drink minimum. If you aren't so drunk that you're puking your guts out, you need another drink. You puke, you clean it up, and don't do it in the pool. Don't drown because this lifeguard's off duty, and most of all, there are no rules. Do whatever the hell you want. I look around to try and see people's reactions to this. Most people look cheerful and ready to embrace it. I don't know what I want to think about it. On the one hand, if it is the end of the world, I wouldn't mind some fun before I go. However, if it isn't quite the end of the world yet, how am I going to survive with a hangover? The mood is catching as people embrace Matt's rules. It may not be so bad to have a few drinks and some fun. We'll be rescued soon, right? I take a sip of straight rum. My shoulder is tapped. I turn around to find Peter with a straight frown. I'm going to get my family. Oh yeah, we should go get others and tell Gary too. Oops. I'll come with you. I set the glass down on the closest table and tie the first aid pack to leave it here and follow beside Peter. Once we get to the main pool, I remember the doors leading to the main mall. Hey, let's go out there. I point to the balcony exit. It doesn't take long before we're there. I can hear the cheers behind me. I'm kind of disappointed that I have to leave and miss out on the fun. I know everyone's going to be half cut by the time we come back. Peter unlocks the gate to the balcony, and I unlock the door to leave the water park. We head back towards the dollar store. I pull out a flashlight and turn it on. The hall seems darker than they were before. My eyes are no longer adjusting to the dark. Remembering back to the winding halls Steph guided us through earlier, I think it might be a bit more difficult to find Gary than it sounds. Kiana works here, so it might be better to wait until we find her first. Peter can take his family back to the water park while Kiana and I go find Gary. Peter sets our pace. He must be anxious to get back to his family as we slowly keep speeding up. I'm glad for my long legs as I can keep up with him easily. It only takes us a couple minutes to get to the gate. Mary is waiting for us. She looks relieved to see us and lets us in immediately. She tackles Peter with her hug. A shout of "Dad" comes from down the aisle. Tim runs out with Kiana following shortly behind him. I catch her as the others have a little family moment. Everyone's at the water park, so we're all going to head over there, but I need your help first. Gary and some others went into the back hallways to make sure nothing was back there. I've seen how twisted it gets back there, and I was hoping you'd be able to guide me through. Sure, I only know bits and pieces, but I'll help, she says. Is that true, Dad? Are we going to play at the water park? Tim asks. Excitement fills each word. Yes, but the slides aren't working, so we'll just be swimming and going to the jungle gym, Peter explains. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Tim grabs both of his parents' hand and starts pulling them out of the store and towards the right. The little boy is super excited to be going to the water park. I hope he won't be too disappointed when he gets there and finds out how little there is to do without running water and electricity. Peter stops and looks at me. I know what he's going to say, so I beat him to it. Go to the park. We'll meet you there once we find Gary. Good luck, he says as he walks away. Thanks, I say, though I'm not sure if he hears me. Once they are clearly out of the way, I lock and close the gate. Let's go out the back. Kiana nods. Do you know which way they went in? Upstairs, downstairs? Not everything's connected back there. Oh, shit. That's why Steph had us going in and out. No, I didn't. It would have been close to the big food court. I hadn't thought of watching where they went. I assumed it had all been connected. We should just leave a sign on the gate telling them to meet us at the water park. We could search for hours back there and still not find them. But at any point, someone could come back here and see the note. Plus, they knew you were going to the water park, right? So they might even go there first, she reasons. This would solve a few issues and let me party with everyone else while they're still sober enough for me to catch up quickly. She's right anyway. There isn't much of a chance that we'll find them back there. Who knows? They may have split up too. Let's go do that. Do you have a paper and pen? She doesn't say anything but pops open the cover on the till and grabs some till tape. There's a pen on the counter that she writes a quick note with. It doesn't take long for her to find the tape and stick the message to the gate. While she does that, I grab my purse from the aisle. Kiana unlocks the gate and steps out. I follow after her. She locks the gate behind us. Looking at the note, it's been crumpled a bit, but anyone will notice it. I lead our way in silence, lit up only by my flashlight. It's a tense silence. Even though we've already cleared them all, something can always break in. Or who knows, it could have evaded all of us. All it would have had to do is hide in a dark corner, inside a store, or even in maze-like halls. Then go somewhere we already searched. I feel like 1,000 eyes are focused on me from the darkness. As I get more and more paranoid, I pick up my pace. Kiana has no choice but to speed up as well. It doesn't take long for the halls to get brighter. The glass walls let in a lot of light from the skylights in the water park. We enter through the glass door. The puff of warm air isn't noticeable as it has been in the past. That warm, humid air inside the water park is becoming cool as the rest of the mall. The cold is going to be a huge problem soon. Worse as the weather outside gets colder and colder. Winter has barely started. This shouldn't last that long, though. The army will rescue us soon enough, right? Joyous hoots and hollers remove all of the seriousness of the moment. Maybe Matt was right. This is what we all need. Kiana and I walk to the tiki hut. Almost everyone we see along the way has changed into a bathing suit, the cold not seeming to bother them. I wonder where they got them from, and where can I get one? I don't want to have to go out to the main stores to grab one. Was that one bathing suit store open? I don't think it was. Will we get in trouble for looting? No. Maybe if it was necessary for survival, they might make us pay it back, if they care after everything that's happened. A pile of bikinis and swimming trunks answers my one question, at least partially. I still don't know where they got them from. Oh, maybe that store downstairs. There were a few bathing suit stores in the mall. Would they have had enough time to raid one of those stores? I suppose they could have. I pick up a yellow top and bottom. Kiana sits down at the bar and pours herself a drink. I walk up and set my purse down on the counter. Eyeing the bottles, I put down the bikini and grab the vodka. There are many used shot glasses everywhere. Lining up a few, I fill them. I nudge one over to Kiana. She takes it up, clinking them together as we say cheers at the same time. I toss my head back and gulp the burning liquid. The taste sucks, but it feels great. Kiana is just drinking now. I give her another. This time I pay attention. She taps the glass against the bar before shooting. Why do you do that? She looks confused. Tap the counter. Oh, I guess it's a cheers to the bartender? A thank you, sort of? She shakes her head. A friend used to do it, so I started too. I pour us another round. To the end of the world, I say. She goes back. To the end of the world. As she hits her shot glass against mine, the vodka gets better as I go. The more I drink, the better it tastes. Before I get too far gone, I should change. Then maybe go for a swim. I pick up the bikini and decide to walk somewhere close by to change. There's a food shack close by. That would offer enough cover. There isn't anyone over here. When I get to the gate, I go in through the door and behind the food serving station, where I will be hidden by the counter. A quick look around assures me no one will see me change. Just in case, though, I change fast. Taking my clothes with me, I go back to the tiki hut. A few people have joined Kiana at the bar. I drop my clothes on the table and get in on the next round of shots.